I have some trivia that will blow your mind into 16 and a half pieces.
16 and a half. Got it.
Yep. Can you do that? Can you have 16 and a half pieces? If you take one thing, it should just be 17 pieces at that point, right?
It would be 17 pieces.
Yeah. So we'll skip over the blowing your mind part. You can cancel that.
Consider it canceled.
Let's see. Which one do I want to give you first? I think I got some good trivia. The main actor grew so enamored with his canine co-star that he tried to adopt her when filming was finished, but the dog's trainer could not be persuaded to give her up.
Delta Force.
Nope.
Fine.
All the paintings in Dr. Nailville's house were provided by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City.
Okay. I don't know that.
The movie's animal trainer found Abby in a kennel. She had the right look, but had never been trained. He only had a few weeks to get her up to speed.
This better not be like Dr. Dolittle.
It's not. Will Smith said that closing New York City streets to film meant he got a lot of middle fingers.
I almost said I Am Sam, but I Am Legend.
Those are two very different movies.
They're essentially the same movie.
Are they?
I think so.
Yeah, I Am Legend. Have you seen I Am Legend?
I have seen it, just once.
Yeah, it's kind of one you don't need to see again, really.
No, I don't think so.
There's not... You get it. You know, like, you can take it all in with one viewing. You don't need to go back. What do you think of I Am Legend?
Honestly, I don't remember a whole lot, but I remember liking it at the time.
Maybe you need to watch it more than once.
Yeah, perhaps I do.
Yeah, so Will Smith is potentially the last man on Earth, which, did you see The Last Man on Earth?
The show?
The show, yeah.
Yes.
Did you like that?
I do like that.
We watched the first season, and I really liked it when it was just him and her.
Yeah.
Once they got the other community, I was like, oh, I'm back out. Cause the first 3 episodes were actually really good. And once they started falling in love with each other, it was getting really funny. And then they added in extra people and I was like, oh, no, now he's just a jerk and it's not really fun. He's not a jerk in a fun way. What's that? Todd Margaret, the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret.
Poor decisions of Todd Margaret, yeah.
He's a jerk, but he's a jerk in a funny way, where The Last Man on Earth was just a jerk in a jerky way.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But anyways.
Yeah, I still watch it. I think it's funny.
Yeah. But anyways, these I Am Legend and Last Man on Earth kind of have a lot of things that are similar, where they're in love. I think Last Man on Earth took a lot of ideas of I Am Legend and put a comedic spin on them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was in love with that. He kept trying to ask out the mannequin. Will Smith tried to ask out the mannequin and stuff. But anyway, so Will Smith is the last man, potentially the last man on Earth, living in New York City, trying to survive. I don't think they ever call them zombies, but
no.
And actually, I read the book, and I want to say in the book they were vampires.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was weird. I don't remember the book really well. I think it was pretty short.
Are they dead then, or no?
I think so. I don't know. It was a strange book.
Yeah, because there's some, the universes where the zombies aren't really zombies. They're more just super infected people.
Yeah.
Who just want to eat you.
Yeah.
But they never died.
The movie it's an okay movie. I don't know. It's pretty forgettable. It's not...
Yeah, I have forgotten most of it. I mean, I liked it, but...
I feel it was a movie that was made just for the summer it came out. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
their intention, it feels like a movie that was just like, oh, we're going to get a lot of money in the box office, and that's kind of it. Similar to Castaway, right? The Tom Hanks movie. Is like not... It is a movie you want to see, and is a movie you kind of want to experience on the big screen, but it's not really one you ever need to see again.
No, you don't need to, but I have.
Castaway?
I've probably seen it 5 times.
That's a lot of times, because that's like a 3-hour-long movie.
I love almost anything with Tom Hanks.
It came out on 2 DVDs.
Yeah, I know. That was
although, thinking back on it now, the second DVD might have been special features.
Well, you want to talk about a long movie? The freaking Titanic came out on 2 VHSs.
Yes.
And I think so did Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I think so.
And I mean, there's a few other ones out there, but
it's all about you gotta really pad out those sinking ship movies.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I think Silkwood would probably come out in 2 VHSs too.
Ugh, I would hope not. I don't know if I would have the energy or the desire to get up,
change it,
and put the second tape in. You know what? I'm just gonna end it here.
But I Am Legend, I kind of feel bad because I don't really care about this movie, and the reason I picked it is not because I wanted to talk about it, but I wanted to talk about The Walking Dead.
Okay.
That's what I call Will Smith, The Walking Dead.
Got it.
What do you think about getting jiggy with it?
Nah. It's okay.
No, The Walking Dead, the TV show. Do you still watch it?
I do still watch it. I don't enjoy it like I used to.
Yeah. I feel like zombies it's come and gone. Like zombies, their time in the sun has gone.
They're decaying.
But, I guess it kind of happened before too, though, because there was a time where they made a ton of zombie movies, like Day of the Dead and what are all those? I can't even remember now.
28 days, weeks, months, years, decades.
Yeah, but those are more contemporary. There's like in the 80s, I want to say, like Day of the Living Dead and Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. All those came out a while ago, and then zombie movies came back with The Walking Dead. I feel like kind of spurred it back.
I think it was a little bit even before that.
What came out before? So 28 Days Later came out before The Walking Dead, but what else?
I think like Zombieland, Shaun of the Dead.
Those came out before The Walking Dead?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. But
I'm positive. There's another one though that I feel like came out in that same time frame.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know.
Anyways, what I wanted to talk about was how bad The Walking Dead has gotten.
I don't hate it as much as you do, but it does. There are a lot of things that bother me. A lot of the characters bother me. I don't know. There's not enough zombie in it for me.
Yeah.
And when there is, what drives me nuts is these characters have gotten so dumb. To where, like, at this point, it's been like, I don't know exactly, years, I would think, maybe 2 years. Nobody should be dying by zombies at this point. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, y'all know better. And why isn't everybody wearing armor?
Yes. Especially when you're outside. Like
There's 2 things that drive me nuts.
By this point, everyone should have been able to find some form of armor.
Or, long sleeves.
World War Z, he tapes magazines to his wrists to like protect himself. I was like, yeah, that's so simple. Why, like, you guys have built this giant metal wall to protect your town, and yet you can't figure out a way to make stuff that's bite proof. Cause they make, like, you could go to like a grocery store or like a chef supply place or something like that and get those chainmail gloves that chefs use so you don't slice your hands open. You could get those simple. They make full-on chainmail suits for scuba divers. And like, if everyone, like if 95% of the population is dead, there's going to be more than enough of that stuff just floating around that you'd be able to find, track down, and, you know, scavenge to where you have enough to protect your people.
Yeah, I feel like chainmail would be the best because it's strong, but it's flexible. It's not real limiting. It's not heavy. I don't know. That's one of the things. Or like, so they got the riot gear from the prison. That was proven to work extremely well. Never use it again.
Yeah.
And then I don't like, how they figured out that they could cover themselves in the zombie blood and everything and walk through crowds like no problem. Yet no more. We're not going to do that anymore because it's inconvenient or don't want to get dirty. I don't know. But this is your life.
Or Michonne figured out she had the 2 zombies on chains. And she was able just to walk around with them and not have a problem.
But I actually have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So I don't get why just because she took off their jaws, like they lost their desire to eat her. Like that shouldn't matter.
Well, also,
it's not going to neuter them.
Also, it shouldn't really. So like, if a character is out and gets attacked by a zombie, all the other zombies show up and want to attack him, right? Why is her standing next to 2 zombies make her invisible? Like,
I thought it was more like she was, like, the smell of them surrounded her.
Yeah, but why is when one zombie is next to a person trying to get him, other zombies are like, oh, let's get him too, and they show up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do know what you're saying.
The logic behind it doesn't really hold up when you compare it to the rest of the show.
No. But yeah, mainly like that shouldn't happen because they don't know that they don't have mouths anymore. You know, they're still going to try to get you. That's their only goal in life.
Yeah.
Is to eat you. So nothing is going to stop them. Like you cut them in half, they still will crawl to you to try to get you, like we've seen it.
Yeah.
So why are these ones any different? That's one thing that bothers me.
There's a lot of things that bother me about this show.
But here's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Between the riot gear and the covering yourself, why not secure some riot gear and cover it in the zombie blood and wear that? Because it's like 2 forms of protection that you can take off if you need to.
Yeah, you don't have to get zombie guts on yourself.
Covered in it. Exactly. What is the problem?
Well,
or the fact that whenever someone is attacking a zombie and stabbing it or it's getting attacked, they got their mouths wide open. I'm sorry, I'm going to walk around with a hospital mask on my face. I ain't going to get a drop. I'm not going to risk that. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Why are you yelling? Why are you screaming? It's like splattering in your face. It drives me nuts. They're so careless.
Yeah.
No one should be dying by zombies at this point. Nobody.
Well, I don't have a problem so much that people are still dying by zombies. I have a problem with how the zombies have become, like, so easy to kill. Joe Rogan talks about it all the time, but he's like, in the first season, they take down a horse. How many people with functioning brains, like, how many of the strongest people you know who would it take to not only knock a horse over, but tear it apart and eat its guts? Like, well, they don't have to eat the guts, but like pull out its guts with its bare hands. Like, I can't even imagine how many people that would actually take without the horse, running away and kicking people in the face and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, horses are very strong.
Yeah.
There's such thing as horse power. That's a real thing.
Yeah, there's a reason.
It's not something they just made up. There's a reason. Yeah, you're right. Why these zombies are getting like super strength all of a sudden?
Well, so, and then you go to when, Negan kicks Rick out of the RV to get his machete back. Or the hatchet.
Yes.
Rick is just like shoving zombies around. He's surrounded by them, kills a bunch of them, like, just doesn't, like, he seems like he has a little bit of a problem with them, but these zombies, there's no way these zombies could take out a horse. And it's like,
No.
they're only dangerous when it suits the show. Like, they don't seem to follow their own rules. They just, like, oh, well, this will be interesting. Let's make the zombies super strong now. Or make them super quiet. Like, there's a bunch of times where zombies pop out while they're in a building and surprise the characters.
Yeah, or they sneak up behind them.
Or sneak up behind
Like,
them. Why?
no, when that zombie spots you from 100 yards, it's going to be doing its zombie sounds.
Yeah, because it starts. As soon as the show shows the zombies, then you hear, but
Yeah.
the zombie is not like stealthy. You know, like just follow your own rules and the show could be so much better. It'd be a lot harder to make. It'd be a lot harder to write, but that's what makes shows worth watching is
Yeah,
effort.
it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah. But my biggest problem, the reason why I stopped watching The Walking Dead was the Talking Dead. I mean, I think we've talked about it a few times, but
a little bit.
like the Walking Dead is not a good show. And I was okay with that. It was just kind of a fun show. Like, it was interesting to see what the characters would do in these situations and how they were going to get out of it and all this stuff. Then the Talking Dead comes around and turns it into this spectacle and like it's so important and we need to spend an extra hour talking about it and breaking everything down. And it was just like, okay guys, you've ruined it for me because now it's like, I have no desire to take it as serious as you guys are taking it, but I feel like challenged in it. You know what I mean? Like now I'm like thinking about things and like wondering what's going to happen next. And it's just not good enough for me to put in that much effort. Like not in the way of like, you know, obviously I could just not watch The Talking Dead, but after having seen The Talking Dead, it like, it put forth like, oh, this is such a great show. In my head, it's like, oh no, this isn't that good. This isn't that fun. And once I start thinking like that, it's like, why am I even watching this? This isn't that good. And then it slowly died a death from there. And I finally just gave up on it.
Here's my question about the Talking Dead and the audience, right? So, the Talking Dead, it's recorded live, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But where are these people watching that episode? Do they watch it in the studio?
So the guests watch it beforehand. They get sent the DVD of it or whatever, like 2 weeks beforehand. And
really? That far?
Yeah. And so they see it way before so they can take notes and have things to talk about. But then I think...
But what if they're like an avid fan and like they haven't even seen the episode that's going to come on before theirs?
I would imagine if you're on the show, you could probably ask them for the episodes that were coming out before. Like,
do you think they're just getting, like Shirley from Community's just getting all those episodes?
Probably. It'd be my guess. Like, I think she would, like, say if she's on episode 3 of The Talking Dead.
Yeah.
She could probably be like, can you give me 1 and 2 as well? Like, so I'm caught up and I know what's going on. They'd be like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, I mean, if they'd be willing to give you episode 3.
Then
like,
I'm sure they don't care.
Yeah. But so yeah, all the guests watch it, you know, they have advanced time to watch it. I think the audience watches it live and then The Talking Dead starts.
Okay, I always wondered where they watch it. Like I was curious. I didn't care enough to do research on it, but
yeah, well this is just me guessing, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
Yeah. And it's crazy. You have like no time between The Walking Dead and The Talking Dead to like turn it off if you don't want to watch The Talking Dead. I don't know if that's... Do you watch it live?
No,
how do you watch it?
No,
when you did watch it?
I always had to download it.
Okay, so it would be like...
Also, when Glenn died, when Glenn pretended to die that one time underneath the garbage can, the episode, 2 episodes. So I watched that episode the day after it came out in America. Then I was out at a place here and they had The Walking Dead on TV, and it was 2 episodes in the future from where you guys were.
Oh, really?
And Glenn was running around on a rooftop, and I saw it and I was like, wait, what? Is he? Like, I recognized that I had never seen that before. And I was like, is this current? Like, what is this? And then two weeks later, they showed that episode. And I was like, I can't believe they're showing that much in advance in another country. That seems so crazy to me.
And counterproductive. Like, if you're trying to make it a big reveal or a plot or a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Doesn't really work if you show other people that it's not a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Like, it made me wonder if it was an accident.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because I think they have to, they need a lot of time to translate and dub over the episodes and stuff like that. So I wondered, I was like, oh, maybe they just played them out of order, or they, played too many, or it just doesn't matter. But
yeah,
it was
that
weird.
whole thing bothered me because one thing that I liked about Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and I think we've talked about this before, is that anyone can die at any time. And I like feeling that. I don't like watching something knowing that whoever I'm watching isn't going to die, but they're trying to make me think that they might.
Yeah. Well,
it's just, it's so dumb to me. And in that moment, I just knew it was not real. Like, it wasn't exciting. There was not even a second of, oh man, Glenn might actually die here. It wasn't there.
Yeah. Well,
so
that feeling of feeling like, oh, anyone could die at any moment with The Walking Dead went away after about 3 seasons. It was like, oh no, you're just bringing people on to die. You're no longer killing the main characters. Like, the main characters were kind of always safe until the Negan thing happened, but that wasn't shocking to have Glenn die then or Abraham die then. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, that all adds up,
Yeah, and it wasn't shocking because of the way they did it, and they spaced it out by 7 months or whatever it was, and it gave everyone 7 months of speculation, and every possible outcome was like thought of.
Yeah.
Like, but if they had just done it, I would have never seen it coming that they'd kill 2 people,
Yeah, or they kill one at the end of the season, come back in.
And kill another.
Kill
that would have
another.
been cool too.
But who died. Like, you show Glenn die.
And then everyone thinks like that's it.
And that's it. And then you come back in and you kill the second one, and then it's like, oh crap. Or something. The impression I got, again, going back to the Talking Dead, when the creators would come on and talk about it and about their processes behind it and how much they thought about and, figured out, it was like they were trying to be so creative with everything they were doing that
trying to
it
do
ruined
something new.
Yeah, it just ruined the show for me. Because it wasn't creative, it was trolly. It wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. If they had come out in that finale episode and just killed both characters, I would have been in utter shock. Like, I knew, going into it, someone's gonna die. Who's it gonna be? And then it shows it. And then there's another one. I don't know. I would have been in shock.
Yeah.
It took all that away.
Yeah. No, yeah, it definitely could have been done way better, way more effectively. And I'm so tired of finales just being a springboard of cliffhangers to the next season. Like,
yeah,
the whole season is building up for episode 1 of the next season after. And that is not how it should be. It should be building up to the finale. Like, you can have a cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger should be established right at the end of that last episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't build towards the cliffhanger that you're going to reveal in the first 5 minutes of the next season and then start a whole new story. You need to conclude your contained story in one season. And if you want to tease the next story, if you want to add like a little, like a cliffhanger or something, like, you do that at the end, but it's not, you don't you don't water down your story to make people want to watch it again because it's done. I'm not the only one who's, changed their mind about The Walking Dead. I think they've lost a ton of viewers because of that, especially that whole story arc with Negan killing people or not killing people. And it's just, it just gets me so frustrated.
Yeah. And I'm at the point now where I've already watched it for this long. I'm just going to finish it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how long it's going to go, but
not to just constantly go back to the Talking Dead, but I am so sick and tired of fake excitement over things. Like, I don't know how much YouTube you watch or anything like that, but there's a channel called Tested that's got Adam Savage and a couple other guys, and they do like reviews of things and like, build props, and they do a lot of cool stuff. But they'll have like an item that they're showing off, and the other guys on the show or the YouTube channel are like, oh wow, oh, like just like in awe of this thing, and they're like so excited. But clearly they knew what it was. They knew what was going to happen. Like, it's just such a fake reaction. And that's what I felt about The Talking Dead all the time, is people would be like, oh, I can't believe this happened. It's like, no, you can believe it. You knew about it for so long. Like, you're not in shock. Like, I appreciate being able to say like, oh yeah, when I watched it, it blew me away. But don't try to like force that emotion onto the screen so people think that you're, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so, it just.
If they wanted, I know what you're saying. If they wanted that real reaction, they should have, what's his name, Chris Hardwick, watch it for the first time
live
with the audience.
Yeah.
So that way he could be like, whoa, let's talk about what just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, it makes
But
me
the problem
sick.
is they can't script it if they do that.
That is very true. It makes it a lot harder. But that's why you don't pretend. You don't fake emotion. Fake emotion is the worst thing,
I feel the same way whenever I watch something. It's usually reality shows. Well, I guess it's almost always reality shows where it's like, and I think for whatever reason, Biggest Loser was really bad about this.
Yeah.
Whenever someone is getting a phone call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they take this phone call and it's like super shocking. But it's like, how shocked are you? Because we have a TV crew, like 10 cameras, and everyone's standing around you at the phone. You know something's happening. You're not that shocked. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's tough because it depends on what it is. Like, if you were surrounded by a film crew and they're like, hey, Taylor, just want to let you know, we did the tests. You're actually a female.
Okay.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
Let me
who was around you. You would be shocked. Well, maybe.
Let me be more specific. So I haven't watched Biggest Loser in a long time, but how they used to do it was, at least on the early seasons, the trainers would call the contestants, or they'd like find them and, to tell them that they've been selected, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, hey, we're here from The Biggest Loser. We're going to be coming to your house with a crew in 2 weeks. I wonder what that's about.
I gotcha. So when they're getting selected for the show and they get
like
a phone call at their house.
Exactly.
I thought you were talking about when they like pull the contestant out of the show. Like, hey, you have a phone call and it's like, your dad died or your mom died or so-and-so's in the hospital and you're upset that they're shocked at that. I was like, man, that's probably the most real part of the whole show. But no, I gotcha.
No, yeah, and it's like, okay, Biggest Loser crew wants to come to my house. I applied to be on The Biggest Loser. I wonder what this is about. And then here they are, and they're like, hey, okay, we want you to stand around your phone because at 10 o'clock a.m., something's going to happen, and we're going to be recording it. And it was all to say, sorry, we didn't pick you.
That would be, I think they should just make a show like that. That's just people's disappointed reactions.
Oh, that would be great. I would love that.
What's really bad, the worst, like the most egregious one is, you ever watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette? No. My wife watches it and I'll catch it, I'll be in the room with her. I can't stand the show. It's awful. But, there'll be like sitting around in a room and then someone shows up like, hey, I have an announcement. And everyone's like, oh, okay. Like surprised that there's an announcement. But you look at it and everyone is sitting on the couch all facing the camera. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know what I mean? Like it's clear that like 5 minutes before the producers are like, hey, everyone come sit down, come sit down, come sit down. Like you get over here, you get over here. Like there's no naturalness about it. Like there's no way anyone would ever sit that way and like be, you know, it was just so goofy. It's so bad.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
But you had brought up, Game of Thrones and there's something that's been bothering me. I started listening to the first book again.
Okay.
And, I have some problems with it.
Oh boy. What you got?
Mostly their ages. I don't understand. Like, why not make Rob and Jon and Daenerys, make them 18? Why make them 14? You're having them do all these adult things. You're having them, you know, fight off adults. And them being young is only to service, like, a couple things to be like, oh wow, they're so young. This is such a tragic thing. Who cares? Don't put that part in there. Just make them reasonable age for the things that they're doing. Then
I think could be to show that they weren't ready for all this to happen. You know, none of this stuff was supposed to happen until they were much older, but then their dad died and all this happened and it got thrust upon them.
Whoa, spoilers.
Oh, you don't know who I'm talking about. Because guess what? Everybody's dad dies in this show. Book.
But so like the TV show, I feel like they got it so much better. All the actors seem reasonably aged for the characters.
Well, they kind of had to though.
No, I know.
Because you're going to get a lot of rape.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why make it like, so Daenerys gets pregnant. They go through all that
Right.
and she gets pregnant. And then at the end of it, it's like, and she was 14. And it's like, what? Oh, why? It just makes me feel like, oh man, George Martin is just super creepy.
Well, it's definitely part of that, I'm sure.
But it's just like there's zero reason why she couldn't have been 18 or been 20 or whatever. Like, it never comes up again that she's 14 other than that time of like, oh, she's just a little kid. We shouldn't murder her. Like,
Yeah.
okay, how about she hasn't done anything wrong. We shouldn't murder her. That seems like just as much a valid reason. You know what I mean? Like, figure out a better way to, I don't know. And then, I don't really remember, what's the youngest one's name? Rickon?
Yeah.
He's like 3. And he easily could have been older. Cause he starts doing stuff and having these like more complex thoughts. And I have a 3-year-old and she's smart and she can talk, but she's nowhere near like this kid. Like it's just, just make him a little bit older. Just make him, like, I just feel like George Martin is so out of touch with what kids are able to do at certain ages. Like Bronn is 7. Like, that's crazy. He should have been 14. His character, like, George R. Martin was just off by like 5 years on everyone. Like, just make him, make everyone 5 years older and not only do the things that they're doing and their motivations and everything that they're doing makes sense for their age, but it's way less creepy.
Well, it's funny that you say that because originally, and I don't remember exactly which book this was supposed to take place, but he had planned on doing a 5-year jump.
Mm.
And then a bunch of the stuff that happened going down then, and for whatever reason changed his mind, or I don't know exactly what happened. He ended up having to rewrite a bunch of stuff to take that out.
Yeah, I mean, if he wanted
I wonder if that was part of his motivation, was start him super young, so when I do this jump, they're at the age that I want them to be.
That makes more sense too. Like when you look at just everyone's abilities. Like, I don't care how much training you've gone through when you're 14. Like, if you could have had a sword in your hand from when you're 2 years old and had the best trainers. you're not going to beat someone who's, 18, 20 with a sword. You're not going to be strong enough. You're not going to be fast enough. Like,
Right.
you can't do it. Like, you're not going to be coordinated enough. And especially if you go through like a growth spurt and you gain like 10 inches in a summer, there's no way you're going to know how to use a sword.
Yeah.
Not effectively, at least. It's just, I don't know. It just makes me so annoyed to have them so young. But that time jump thing would make more sense. And it's a shame that he didn't do it because I would have liked it a lot more.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that happened early on that you're talking about, it wouldn't have affected that. Like, I think it was going to be like book 3 or 4 or something.
Oh. Well, then I'm back to having issues with it because Rob becoming, like people following him into war as a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
That seems crazy. Like, it's just too unbelievable for me. Like the dragons make way more sense than people following around a 14-year-old.
Well, they're just following the name.
Well, but they're also actually following him. He's making the decisions and he's making, choices that are affecting everyone.
Yeah, but like I said, not because like he's smart or good, it's because of his name. They're just trusting that he's going to do the right thing.
No, I get that. But I'm saying I don't feel like that trust extends far enough for his age. Like I feel like they'd be we're not going to actually listen to what you're saying. Like,
that's why you'll never be a lord.
That's true. All right.
You will never be the warden in the north.
So, I Am Legend. I Am Legend comes on TV. What are you going to do?
I'd probably watch it to commercial. That's it.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just change the channel right away. I didn't even have energy to talk about it today.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it like at all.
Do you have a movie you want to see?
I did. Oh.
This should never be a surprise to you. We do this every week.
So I want to see the movie The Fifth Element.
Okay. I haven't seen that either.
Bruce Willis. For 2 reasons, yeah. 1, I've heard it's good. 2, I thought we had it for a while. Mm. My parents went to a swap meet, right?
Yeah.
This was years and years ago. And bought a bunch of like copied movies, pirated movies.
Yeah.
And they got The Fifth Element and Men in Black 2 and then like something else. They were not good copies, but they were still, you could watch the movies. But then when we put that one in, it was just like it was like a video of like, it was like someone's home movies of like their kids at like a track meet.
Yeah.
It was weird. So I never got to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. Everyone says it's good. I feel like it probably was, but I don't feel like it probably is anymore.
Yeah, probably not anymore.
Well, all right. Well, if you've enjoyed this podcast and you'd like to help us out, you can go over to Patreon/I've Seen That and donate $1 towards who you think is a better person, Taylor or I. We also have other things you can help us with. You can pick a bad movie, make us watch, or you can be a sponsor of the show. But yeah, so that you can go over to Patreon and help us out, or you can follow us on Twitter at ISeenThatPod or me directly at AlanRJR.
And I am at Taylor Enixon.
And we will be back soon.
At some point.
At some point.